to another edition of Coach of the Month. And right now I have Coach of the Month with me, Pedro Lugo. Now, Pedro, first thing I want to ask you is what are you doing outside of coaching?
Outside of coaching, what am I doing? I am working. I do a lot of commercial work right now. I'm doing a lot of commercial modeling and commercial work for different. I've done a few for different companies. I've done a few for Hart. There's a company with Walmart. Done a few of their commercials and some other ones that I'm working on. So that's what's keeping me busy. And I'm also retired. I retired a few years ago from the government. So that's it. Home.
Well, well,
You know, when you call me, I'm always busy though.
oh, okay. Are you throwing that back on me because that's me too? Well,
Yeah.
when you say the government, not everybody knows what that is. Is there a particular sect of the government that you worked for before you got into coaching?
I worked for the Department of Justice. I worked at the Bureau of Prisons
Mhm.
for 27 years.
Okay, so you went from yelling at inmates to yelling at actors and models. Is that what you're telling me?
Not so much. It's similar, but yet it's a little bit different.
Which one's tougher?
Ooh, um,
Ooh,
some of our students are pretty tough.
you can't just lock them up, right? You
No, we
gotta
can like them up. That's not what they're here for.
if, the Zoom breakout room isn't quite the solitary confinement you're looking for, right?
No, it is not. No, but I really, you say that, I say that, but I really haven't had no bad issues with none of the students that I really can't say, wow, that can, no, not really.
Well, we just gotta put fun of them, so that's why.
Yeah,
So while you were doing that, did you have the inkling to want to get into entertainment, or were you modeling before? Because I've seen some older pictures of you modeling.
I started modeling back in around 1997. Um,
Mhm.
it's kind of funny. I told the students a little bit of the story how I got into it because it was in downtown Raleigh, and I remember hanging. We were downtown with some friends, and my friend says, "Hey, they have them in some reads up there. They're just bringing in people for I think it's a cold read and something. I don't know what that is. So it's a cold read, okay. And it was a cold read for a Colgate commercial.
Mhm.
And he says, "You need to go. You're pretty good at that stuff. You should go ahead and do it." So I got in the line and just did it. I did a cold read, and the agency that was doing it really liked me. And so they brought me on board. They brought me on board. They sent me to school. They actually paid me to go to school, and they signed me up for their agency. And I stayed with their agency about 5 years.
Mm. That's when you go to an audition and knock it out of the park. It's very hard to get someone to invest in you when they don't know who you are, no matter how good you look or how good you are. So that tells me that you just wowed them, which of
Oh,
course.
I was like, never did that before. They liked it. They liked my voice. They liked the way I did it. I did not get the commercial because I guess somebody else did something a little different. I never done it, but they liked me enough. They thought, well, we're gonna send you to school.
Well, it's like the thing we always tell people. Sometimes when you don't get a part, it's not always because you did something wrong. They might like someone just a little bit better,
Right.
and then that's just like when you get picked, they might like you a little bit better than someone else. But you also served in the military.
I did. I served almost 10 years in the military before that.
Well, thank
Got
you
a
for your
chance.
service.
Well, thank you. I know you served as well.
So you
Um,
so you
got-
worked so you've done prison guard. I mean, not prison guard. You worked in the prison system, and you were in the military, and now you coach actors and models. Man, you just kept it on the straight line.
yeah, I keep going with and I actually, Keone, the funny thing is, before I retired, this is the one thing I've been thinking. I was thinking like a year before that. I'm like, I want to teach.
Mhm.
I really want to teach. I was thinking about this is something I want to do when I get out. I want to teach, a coach or something. And this came out of nowhere because you and I met due to my daughter-in-law, my stepdaughter, and that's how you and I met. And then from we've been working.
Well, we gotta clarifhy that. He didn't meet me through his stepdaughter. His stepdaughter was being trained by me.
She was a student. She was a student. Let's get that right. No, my stepdaughter was a Kyoto student, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
And that was from there. It's been great. It really has.
And that's another good thing. We always talk about how you present yourself, your presentation, right? Every time, and this was years ago, this wasn't a couple months ago, this was 3 years ago. And every time you came in with your daughter, you were super professional. You always looked the part. Like you never walked in there looking like you just got out of bed. You always put yourself together and walked in there. And when you talked to everybody, and when you had an issue, you brought up the issue professionally as a parent. Because back then I didn't know you as Coach Pedro, of course. I knew you as a parent of a student. And it was the way you communicated when there was an issue or when you were happy about something that made me just go, let me dig a little bit to see where this guy is from. And then when I found out you had a background in modeling and acting, I was like, I got him. I got him. I got to get him. So
Oh,
that's why I approached you that day. And you were like, huh? Me?
yeah, it was totally unexpected. I wasn't expecting that, but um, it, just a few days ago, I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, I asked for this. I really did. I really did. I asked for it. I really love the part that I get to coach and teach and meet some great. I mean, we have some fantastic students come through our ranks, and it's to me it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to work with a lot of them.
What we always know the joy of coaching is watching someone who has the potential in this just they're going to be off the charts. And of course, we get a satisfaction when we get someone that's raw but that good, and they fulfill it. But I've been trying to explain to people that feeling that you get when you see someone who doesn't understand their potential or doesn't know they have the potential, and help that manifest in them, and then seeing them grow. What's the satisfaction level for you when you see that?
The satisfaction level is up the charts. I will tell you, it's up the charts. Um, like you just made me think of one student. She's about 13, and just I've been watching her all along. And initially, she was very shy. She was kind of quiet, and she'll sit on her couch and she's doing. But last couple of weeks, she broke out when she did her monologue, and she did some other. I was like, wow, she's really coming out of her shell. And I was able to tell you, don't look at you. And it's an I can't even explain it. I really don't have words for it when you see that moment that they're just coming out of the shell and they're being able to perform and the change and just it's beautiful. I think that's one of the beautiful things about doing what I'm doing now.
All right, let's get your top three. If you watched some of the episodes yesterday, we're going to do a top three. What are the top three things that you have enjoyed the most about your coaching experience?
Top three things that I've enjoyed. One is watching the growth of the students. Definitely, that is one that's just right there. Another part that I love, I would say number two, will be watching them create. The creativity that some of them have, and is just coming up with. I had a class the other day, and it was so great to see 10, 12 people that was so very creative. Each one came up with a different idea. Sometimes you have a class and one feeds another and they start creating the same idea, similar. No, this was totally different. Everybody has so many ideas and they want to bring out, and that's number two. Number one is just watching the performance.
Mhm.
Watching the performance. I think number one right now, I would say my top thing is just watching them graduate, get into that part, and just get them to see that last end of that and the dedication and whatever they put into it, how they come on the other side, and they wow themselves, and because they do stuff that 30 weeks before they didn't believe they could do, and now they find themselves doing something that's just they wow me because some students do really 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 good. and the passion that you get to see some of them just go from nothing, and they really halfway through they start developing passion and desire for what they want, and by the end of the class, by the end of the course, it's like, wow, it's just a total new view. It's a total new view and perspective. So I think that's number one, just watching the growth, how the change. I, those are the top three for me.
Nice. Hey, those were a very, very good top three, so I'll take it. Okay. Um, what was the biggest hurdle that you had to face when you were pursuing your entertainment career, whether it was when you did it the first time or currently now? It doesn't have to be something negative, but like for instance, I know you're super busy with a lot of things and you're retired. So, what's one of the biggest hurdles that you had to get over? What was it, and how did you get through it?
The biggest hurdle for me actually has changed. It was my job.
Hmm.
My job working, because my job and my position and the things that I did took a lot of me. It wasn't like I could just say, well, I'm taking time off and go here or go there, or I gotta to travel, which sometimes I was able to, but a lot of times I couldn't do everything I wanted to do with this. And don't get me wrong, I did love my job as well. I love what I did. I really did. And the beginning it was like, I like it, but no, I learned to really enjoy my job, because I felt like I had the chance to make a change in different people. I had the chance to touch people through my job in ways that can make a difference. Because I'm working with guys inside of a prison that going back to society. And my goal was to send them at least a little bit better than when they came in. That was my goal. So I felt like that was something necessary. The job kept me very busy. Like you weren't similar to the military. I know when I was in the military for me was 24 hours. There was no really break until I got out and realized, oh, there is more time in the day than just being in the military. But my job was like that. We would work 12, 16-hour days very easily, and it was consuming, it was tiring, it was good. And you had to provide, you got to make the decision on providing for your family as well. So I think that was one of the biggest hurdle. How I managed, just stayed in touch with people in the business. And whenever I could, I took some time off and did a few things here. I went and did some runway shows. I will call people that will keep me abreast. Hey, we're doing this. Do you want to be in the show? Yes, I'll take time. So I did little things incrementally. So kept things going as much as I could. So I never let it die. And it's been a dream. It's just something I like doing and I totally enjoy doing.
How did you learn to have, or has this always been you? You have a great deal of patience. Um, how did that develop, or has that just always been naturally you?
Um, I've been a very patient person, but I think the military, once you become an NCO, you learn how to be a little bit more patient because you have subordinates you have to bring in, and if you lose your patience, you lose your calm, you can't develop them or help them as you need, and they won't be able to work for you and do the things that you need them to do when you are soldiering with them. So,
Because you have the what's the line? I've gotten told this before when someone tells you you have the patience of Job. I get told that a lot. One of the biggest compliments that we get from the students is your delivery. Um, they feel that your delivery, when you're critiquing them, is always so super insightful. So I just wanted you to know that that's your biggest compliment that you get. I get that a lot. Um,
nice.
and that's what you want to do. You constantly inspire them to do things, and that's why you're coach of the month for October. Now, here comes the part of the segment where you get spotlighted. So you'll be the only one on the screen. And this segment, take your time. You 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, however you feel. It's all natural. But Pedro's going to give you some inspiration and some motivation um, to all of you listening out there about pursuing your dreams and accomplishing them. All right, Pedro?
Got it. Lately, this is one of the things that I tell the students. I usually have these three words that I have them write down lately, and because I've been thinking much about this. And three words. The first word is desire, and that is one of the things that you have. I asked them, does he have the desire? How big is your desire? How strong? So you got to have a desire. Is the first thing to do whatever it is, whether it is in front of camera or acting or whatever it is that you want to do, there has to be a desire for it. Once you know you have the desire, I always tell them to start thinking about, you want to be a little bit obsessive. Obsessed is okay, because it's an obsession to get it and work at it. You have to obsess. And it's something that when you desire it, you start obsessing over it, you're thinking constantly about it, you want to make sure you're working towards it, you're getting everything right, you're working on the little details. And that becomes a bit of an obsession when you want to do those things and you want to get them right. So those two words right there will lead to the last word that I always bring in is success. If you have the desire and you have the obsession to go ahead and accomplish what you want to do, success will come along. And it doesn't mean always success, that success is going to be, well, I just made $1 million or I made all this money. Success is not always measured by the amount of money you have in your pocket. But I think the success is you being able to be creative, and also the success of being able to help others to succeed. I think that's the biggest measurement of success, is when you see how many people you can help succeed, and when they come and tell you later, well, you affected me and you made a change in my life and this is where I'm at. I think that is success. So you have to have the desire, you have to obsess of what you do and how you do it and how will you do it, so you can create success. So have those three words. I have them written down. I look at them every day. Desire, desire, obsession, success. That's what I have.
Awesome. Desire, obsession, and success. Any particular order?
You got to have the desire first. You
Hmm.
got to have desire, and I can help you with it, but I can't give it to you. You got to have desire.
That
I can
part.
show you how to obsess over something because I'm going to give you everything you need. Now you start obsessing over it. If I give you, and you probably do the same thing. I don't know. I'll do this when I get some lines and I start working on it. Start working on a monologue. I'm obsessive about it because I start doing it. I might be doing something else, but it's constantly in my mind. So I'm doing this. Might be driving and here I'm working on my monologue, my lines. So it's doing some. I think that is what I call obsession, because you start thinking and working until you get it in the matter you want to work it. You want to see it how it comes out. So yep, yeah, you can be a little bit obsessive. There's nothing wrong about that, and that usually it works out very well.
That happens to me as well. I know when I get lines, I'll look at them one time and then I put them somewhere, because as I'm doing everything else, it's playing in the back of my head over and over and over again, like a recorder. So that's kind of cool. Those great words of wisdom, Pedro. Enjoy you being one of my favorite coaches um,
Thank
that
you.
I have on my staff. Continue the excellent work. Great words of encouragement. Everyone who popped on a little late, just rewind, go on back, start watching the video from the beginning, and make sure that you tune in for Industry Talk at 8 p.m. Eastern. Industry Talk with Dakari Thurman at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Pedro, and everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Oh, thank you, Keone. Thank you.